I'm Mike Szymanski, and I'm from Hollywood, California. I always knew that I was interested in boys and girls. It always was the case. And I didn't really know what bisexuality meant or use the word because I came out as gay first. And I told my parents, and it was a big deal, and I came out as gay. And then I was sneaking around with a woman. And they thought that it was strange. I was living in West Hollywood, and we would go to gay clubs, but I was with a woman, and then I thought, well, okay, maybe I'm bisexual, and she introduced me as her gay boyfriend. Then my dad said, okay, well, if you're bisexual, why would you choose the wrong way? You know, if and that was a weird situation because then I went on. I came out in a magazine as my second coming out as bisexual from being gay, because being gay was a step for me to become bisexual. I got on a lot of talk shows when I'm Phil Donahue, and they thought that was an unusual thing. And my girlfriend at the time said, well, you're going to have to choose whether you want to be a bisexual activist or you want to date me. And so we broke up. And then John saw one of the articles that I wrote, and he looked me up. We happened to live a mile away from each other. Our names are right under each other in the phone book. And we've been together now for 18 years. We have a child that he had with my sister, so I'm the uncle, but we're all pretty much a nuclear family. And we're boring. I mean, we're boring now. We go to the PTA meetings and concerts, and we're together, and we both identify as bisexual. And that throws a lot of people off. It's often a frequent conversation with the family at Thanksgiving dinner because they still don't understand it. It's like, oh, you're still bisexual? Yeah, we're still bisexual. My dad could deal with it like my son has a broken leg or an affliction, you know, and so, yeah, my son is gay and you know, that kind of thing. But then when you're bisexual, it's like, how do you explain that to your friends? And how did he explain it? And okay, so he's bisexual and now he's with a man? Okay, why would you choose that way? Why don't you just choose to be with a woman and be like you're normal? So, and I did have relationships with women that I thought were it, and that I could spend the rest of my life with her. But then John and I clicked, and we really have been together pretty solidly all this time, and we have kids and dachshunds, and just a boring life up here in the Hollywood Hills. I always thought bisexuality was kind of a fun and sexy thing or label. One of my earliest memories of the reality of bisexuality was watching Laugh-In way back. And I was really young. I was probably like 6 or 7. But there was this party scene. One of the guys walks in, and he has a girl and a guy at a party. And he's coming in with a girl and a guy, and they're dancing together. And I remember looking at that thinking, I want to do that. I want to go to a party with a girl and a guy. Yeah, that seems right. You know, not just a girl, not just a guy, but both of them. And just the kind of reality of that kind of hit me. And I was like, whoa, I probably shouldn't have been watching Laugh-In at such a young age. When I was coming out and trying to read about bisexuality and became friends with a lot of bisexual activists and authors, everything was really heavy. It was all these heavy coming out stories, and my family disowned me. And then I became really good friends with this young, hip bisexual girl, Nicole, and we co-wrote The Bisexual's Guide to the Universe, which we wrote as a funny book to make people laugh, and then give real statistics and quotes about bisexuality. And it won the first Lambda Award for any bisexual category. It was the first bisexual category. Recently, they did a story in the New York Times about bisexuality on the cover of the magazine, and John and I are pictured in the inside cover. This was just in March, and it's a huge article about bisexuality, and it has a lot of great bisexual people in it, interviewed, and I think it's a pretty decent take on it. When you have something mainstream like this, where they actually show pictures of people who are bisexual, you can see that it's not just the cool kids with nose rings. It's people of different ages. You know, my friend Gary here, who's a grandfather, and you know, people of all colors, and you realize that they can be part of any community. You don't have to just be in Hollywood to be bisexual. You could be anywhere. I am not one to prescribe to the belief that everybody is bisexual. I know some bisexuals do. I think that there are people on different spectrums, but I think sexuality is fluid. And I think people can be bisexual in different parts of their lives. And so just be yourself, be comfortable, be yourself, and don't try to squelch your interest in whomever you're interested in. I think that's the best way to go about your life.